What's up, buddy? It's What Jim, and let's reveal my top 5 debut albums. Please let me know your favourite debut albums in the comment section below, and I'll be revealing my top 5 on Spotify. I first have a couple of honourable mentions, the first of which is You Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croce. Second is Full Moon Fever by Tom Petty. One more thing before we get started, as I'll be briefly talking about the track list for each of my top 5 debut albums. Now let's get into it with my 5th favourite debut album. Here I am on Spotify, and my 5th favourite debut album is Night Visions by Imagine Dragons, which was released in 2012. So the album starts off with Radioactive, which is it's definitely one of their better songs. It's a very iconic song of theirs. The second track, Tiptoe, I wasn't really the biggest fan of it when I first heard it, but now I think it's a fantastic song. I think it's a worthy second track on the album. The third track on the album, my personal favourite, is It's Time. I love the mandolin playing on that one. The fourth track on the album is another very iconic Imagine Dragons song, and that is Demons. Amsterdam, another fantastic song on the album. And the album ends with a medley, Nothing Left to Say / Rocks. And I think the song really does rock. I think it's one of the better songs on the album. It's such a great way of closing this great album. My fourth favourite debut, it released in 1988, and that is The Travelling Wilburys Volume 1. The first track is Handle With Care. It's my favourite Travelling Wilburys song, and it's one of my favourite songs of the 1980s as well. The second track is Dirty World. I love the lyrics on that one. I especially love the lyrics towards the end of the song. Then you got the song Last Night, another excellent song on the album. It's got a reggae sort of vibe to it. And then you got the side one Closer, which is the Roy Orbison ballad, Not Alone Anymore. The next track is Congratulations, sort of a Bob Dylan ballad, and it's definitely one of the better songs on the album. Then you got Heading for the Light, a very positive sounding song. Then you got the song Margarita. In my opinion, it's the filler track on the album, but I think the lyrics on the song are really good though. Then you got the song Tweeter and the Monkey Man, which is a 5-minute epic that Bob Dylan wrote and sang, and then the album ends with End of the Line, which is another one of my favourite Travelling Wilburys songs. So my third favourite debut is by Don McLean, and that is American Pie, which released in my favourite year of music, 1971. So the first track is the title track American Pie, which it's a fantastic song. One of my favourite Don McLean songs. It's got some of the best lyrics of all time on that song. Then you got the song Vincent, which is my favourite Don McLean song. I think it's beautiful. It gets me every single time. And then you got the really upbeat, catchy song Everybody Loves Me Baby. And then the album ends with a traditional song being Babylon. My second favourite debut album is by George Harrison, and that is All Things Must Pass, released in 1970. Now I know normally this is a triple album, but I'm not counting it as a triple album. I'm only counting it as a double album, as I'm not the biggest fan of the third disc of All Things Must Pass. So start off with the first track, which is I'd Have You Anytime. I believe George Harrison wrote this one with Bob Dylan. Second track, which is my favourite track on the album, My Sweet Lord. It's got one of my favourite choruses of any song. Then you got the song Wow Wow, which when I first heard it, wasn't too crazy in the song, but now I think it's a fantastic song. Then you got Isn't It a Pity version 1. I prefer version 1 to version 2. Then you got another one at George's best with What Is Life. And then you got the song If Not For You, which Bob Dylan wrote, and I think he sang it around the same time as well. But I prefer George Harrison's version. I love the harmonica solo in it, and it's a song that gets me every single time. Then you got the song Behind That Locked Door, which has got a very country sounding vibe to it. Then you got the song Run of the Mill, another one of my favourite songs on the album. Then you got the song Apple Scruffs, which was probably my least favourite song on the album when I first heard this album, but now it isn't. I really like the song Apple Scruffs. It's referencing all the people that would wait for the Beatles outside of Abbey Road Studios. Then you got the title track All Things Must Pass. It's in my top 100 songs of all time. It's a beautiful, heartbreaking song. Then you got the song Hear Me Lord. It reminds me of My Sweet Lord a little bit. I think it's a fantastic song, a worthy way of closing the second disc. So my favourite debut album of all time, it released in 1972, and that is Jackson Browne's Self-Titled. It's also my favourite self-titled album of all time. Start off with the track Jamaica Say You Will, which I think the Byrds made that song quite famous. Second track of the album is A Child in These Hills. I think Jackson kills it with the vocals. He does a brilliant job. And the whole album's got a very chill out, relaxed vibe about it. The third track on the album, which is my favourite song on the album, and that is Song for Adam, and it's in my top 100 songs of all time. Then you got the song Doctor My Eyes, which is it's the hit off the album, and you got Rock Me on the Water and My Opening Farewell, two perfect songs to end this perfect album in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment. I'm very close to 600 subscribers as I'm recording this, and I'd love to get there before I go on holiday. But until next time, peace and love, and ciao.